So you're looking to get shredded, but you don't know where to start. Everybody tells you the same information, something, something, calories, something, something, track your food, all this other stuff. So much information, so many different people that are creators telling you all different types of things. And you hear this. Somebody says everything completely different. You're like, wait, I don't even know what to believe. And you feel stuck by too much information and no action. And you're just sitting there and you feel hopeless. Been in your shoes before. Now, I'm here to clarify all of that. And basically what I'm gonna show you in this video is how to stay lean year round. How I've done this over like the last 4 years. I don't track my food, okay? So you don't have to worry about that. I'm not gonna tell you to buy a scale. I have done that, it does work. But in this video, I'm not gonna show you how to do that. I'm gonna teach you how to get lean, the little tips and tricks that I do that are easily implementable into your life to make it easy. So if you don't wanna use a scale, you don't have to. So without further ado, let's get into the video, let's get you shredded, and let's get into number one. Okay, ladies and gents, so the first thing you need to understand is that this thing right here, water, which most people hate, it doesn't have flavor. There's nothing, it's just water. It's like not good. You need this. This keeps you alive. Your body's like 75% of it. But none of that's actually important. When it comes to losing weight, when it comes to being shredded, staying lean, the first thing you need to do when you wake up is drink this. Don't drink coffee and do not eat food. We'll get there in a minute. Do not eat as soon as you wake up because pretty much you're not hungry. It's really just a habit. You eat as soon as you wake up. It's the most important meal of the day. Some. More information. This is what I'm saying. When you wake up, first thing you need to do, you could get a gallon. You could. I highly recommend the gallon because it's so easy to drink 1.5 of these a day. Basically what I'm saying is, as soon as you wake up, you want to make sure you hydrate and drink a lot of water because typically you're not hungry. You are thirsty. Your body's dehydrated from sleeping. So by you drinking water in the morning, you're going to realize very evidently that that hunger you have is not really hunger. It's just a habit, and we need to make that difference. Hunger versus habit. So first thing I want you to do, when you wake up, drink some water if you can. Put it by your bed. That's what I do. Wake up, boom. I literally get out of bed, roll over, drink some, and I already feel better. And even if it's cold, it like wakes you up. So it is a great way to start your morning. So I know what you're thinking. There's a fridge behind me. Why are you laying on it? This is also the second step with drinking water. When you hydrate in the morning, that's great because you're gonna realize you don't need to eat. The second thing is before you eat food, you gotta have more of it. I'm telling you, this substance will change your life. I don't know if I should say that because people don't. Yeah, anyways. Drinking water before you eat is going to basically do this. Think about your stomach like this, right? This is your stomach. You can have this much space for food. But if you fill a good amount with water, now you only have this. Think about it, simple math, all right? So that's the thing that I want you to do is to drink water before you eat so that you're a little bit more full. And then once you eat your food, you're actually gonna be satiated and not eat a bunch of other things after. So that's the second tip with drinking water. Always drink water before you eat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the second thing you're going to do, and I'm not telling you to do this, but this has definitely helped me a lot, is implement caffeine. Now, a lot of people are hesitant to caffeine. It makes them anxious, gives them jitters. It's maybe some people say it's not good for you. A million other reasons. Everybody objects everything at some point. For me, caffeine has made it really easy to stay shredded as this is an appetite suppressant. So what I've started to do is implement caffeine in the morning. Now, a lot of people use it as this dependent strategy to wake up and they don't know that it has many other benefits. One of the key benefits that caffeine pretty much allows me to do is eliminate some of that hunger because it suppresses it. So once I fully hydrate in the morning, you know, off a good sleep, fully hydrated, and it's been some time, I will have caffeine because it's an appetite suppressant. So once I drink this, I'm gonna pretty much have energy to carry on throughout the day, what I need to do, maybe even go to the gym, and I'm not as hungry because I just had caffeine. So caffeine is not just about giving you energy, but it is an appetite suppressant. So if you want to implement that, if you want to start taking caffeine, please be cautious of how much you're using. Don't become super dependent. Right now I have like 3 cups a day, which I feel like is pretty good. So it's only about 270 milligrams a day. But this has by far been one of the biggest tips that's helped me stay lean, is actually suppressing my hunger in the morning until I eat later on. Max, are you okay? Why are you openly sitting on your floor and laying against your fridge? Great question, because we're getting into number 3. The third thing that you can implement that has helped me a lot is intermittent fasting. Now, people say that intermittent fasting is maybe like, it starts at 12 hours. Now, I really have no idea. The way I think about it is you're not eating food, right, for a select window of time. Basically, what I would do is like maybe stop eating at 8 o'clock. And I probably wouldn't eat till 12 o'clock the following day. In that little 16-hour window, oh my gosh, you're fasted, right? So I would have caffeine, but basically you're fasted. So you have all this energy in the morning, you have a clear mind, you can work. I do social media, a lot of other creative things. So it's like that allows me to get in that creative space. Intermittent fasting is a really good way if you can handle it. And what I mean if you can handle it is if you stop eating at 8 o'clock and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna intermittent fast until 12 o'clock the next day. And by 11 or 12, you're like, oh my gosh, that was super hard. And you double down on the amount of food you would have normally eaten. That's what you don't wanna do. I've done this before, and I know a lot of people who do this, is they structure this window of fasting, but then they eat way more calories than they would have if they didn't fast. And that's not productive at all. That's not what we want to do. So if you're going to fast, you have to know yourself. You have to know whether you can actually do it. And at first it's going to be hard, so you might have to force yourself. But over time, I'm telling you, intermittent fasting, you do 12 to, well, 12's not really fasting, honestly. But like if you do a 16-hour window consistently and implement that throughout your week, I'm telling you, many benefits, clear mind, and you're not eating. So you're closing the window that you have to eat. Like I said, when you drink water and your stomach's like this and you close the amount of food you can have, intermittent fasting is taking 24 hours a day. You chop off 8 from sleeping, so now you got 16. You chop off maybe 4 to 6 more hours, and it's like, yo, you only have this much time left to eat all your food, and you're forced to not eat all that food. So inevitably, you are going to lose weight and see the results that you want. So that is step number 3. Oh, goodness gracious. I might just chill here, bro. So the fourth thing that you need, and I'm saying you need this because I myself thought I didn't need it. Millions of people across the world think they don't need this, and it's sleep. Why is sleep so important? I mean, it's literally your downtime. Your body's regenerating and pretty much processing everything you did in the 16. So when you sleep the 8, it's like, dude, crazy. All that happened today. Your body needs rest, in a nutshell. However, one of the main things when it comes to being shredded, there's a hormone called ghrelin. If you do not sleep an adequate amount, have you ever noticed that? Maybe you sleep 5-6 hours, you're like, I'm good. You feel more hungry in the morning. Why is that? Whenever you don't sleep enough, there's a hormone called ghrelin, which basically increases your hunger. So now, by you not getting good sleep, you're going to crave more food and probably worse food. So now, let's think about it. Your goal is to stay shredded. Is it conducive to get less sleep so you feel more tired throughout the day? You're not as productive, as creative, you're sluggish, but now also you're hungry in the morning, which you don't want to do because you don't want to eat, and then you don't want to eat bad food. So if you can manage your sleep and get an effective 7 to 8 hours every single day, you're going to reduce this so you can actually wake up feeling refreshed, feeling really good, because you shouldn't wake up and feel tired all the time. And that way you're actually going to eliminate that hunger when you wake up, because normally when I wake up, I'm not super hungry if I sleep adequately. If I only sleep like 5 hours, I notice my stomach's already growling when I wake up. It's so weird. So take it or leave it. But basically, if you sleep enough, you are going to start to eliminate that and position yourself for success throughout the day. So tip number 5 is going to be none other than one of the most important things, regardless of whether you actually work out or not, and that's going to be your protein intake. So we got some ground turkey and we got some eggs. Now, why these protein sources? It's all up to you. The protein sources, although you want to make sure they are, good, not ultra processed, it's really up to you. You can do beef, chicken, whey protein, peanut butter, vegetables. I mean, that's somewhat going to be a little bit harder. I've been a vegetarian before, so you can make it work. Moral of the story is you want to have a high protein intake because protein is very dense. It's one of the most satiating things. If you compare the calories between a bag of chips for how many calories it is. Maybe you get 7 chips and it's 120 calories. And that probably weighs not a lot. And then you take the same weight of how many calories is in ground turkey, you're gonna get way more volume, way more density, and nutrients, and a million other benefits versus the chips. Chips are ultra processed, they taste great, but really what you need is protein. Repairing your muscles, it's satiating, nutrients, dense, and think about how many chips you can eat. You can eat so many because there's calories that are just so abundant and you don't really have to take a lot of effort to eat it. So now you do the same thing, protein. So if you can make that simple switch of putting protein first, that is step 5, putting protein first in your diet. When you look to eat, don't just look to things 100% for how they taste. That's not to say you shouldn't eat food that tastes good, because we all need to eat. But what I'm saying is put protein first. If you can put the protein first on your plate, you're gonna feel more satiated before. A lot of us put potatoes, rice, carbs, all these other things on our plate, but we don't realize that the most essential nutrient we need is protein for repairing muscle. It's also the most satiating thing. You cannot just eat an abundant amount of steak, chicken, eggs, but you can for ultra processed carbs. That's why they're designed that way, to make you eat an abundant amount, get you out of shape. Whole different story for another video. But protein is one of the most essential things that you need. So what I would suggest is start prioritizing protein number 1 in your diet. And you can do this by selecting a number. I'm currently 160 pounds. So what I do is I eat about, at least, very bare minimum, 160 grams of protein per day. But I shoot for 200 because technically I'm a bodybuilder and I feel like more protein is better. It's more satiating. And I really don't think that you can have too much protein. Now, don't eat like 300 grams if you're 160, but going a little bit above your body weight, that's what I suggest. I believe like 1.2 to like 1.3 is a really good range for your body weight. I think at 160, that's like 196 to 208. I don't really remember the math. Moral of the story, put protein first, find a good ratio for your body weight that allows you to get your protein in and put that first on your plate. So tip number 6 is gonna be managing your eating schedule. So now some people are really adamant that they have to eat 3 meals a day. Some people like 2 large meals. Some people like 5 small meals. I've done pretty much everything. Everything's all preference. Now, it's all about what works for you. But what I will say is when it comes to you trying to stay shredded and losing weight and having a goal that is attainable, the biggest advice I can give you is if you do not plan, you plan to fail. So if you are trying to lose weight, you have to, it takes effort. Like I know this whole video is about not tracking, which a lot of people don't want to do, but it takes effort regardless of whatever you do in life. It takes effort. And the more effort you put into the thing that maybe you're hesitant towards, that you don't want to do, the better results you're going to get and you're going to feel happy down the line. That might be the difference between you losing 50 pounds and 15. The biggest thing I will say is you have to manage your food schedule. So knowing when you're going to eat, because if you're like, I'll just wait until I eat later. Later comes around, you're more tired from work, you're stressed, and your hormones are all over the place. So now you're like, oh, I could really crave, and you go get fast food. And you're like, wait, I just have fast food, it's 2,000 calories. I feel like crap, I'm fatigued and I'm tired, brain fog, and why did I do it? And you feel guilty. Why? You're stressed because of the lack of preparation. Biggest way to eliminate stress, be prepared. So if you can structure your meals and meal plan, do whatever you do. You got to cook the night before, you got to cook the early morning, and then prep your food, whatever it takes for you to have a schedule to eat. That is going to ensure your preparation is like insurance. By you being prepared, it is going to ensure that you're eating the foods you need to, so you're full throughout the day, so you're not spending extra money you don't need, and you're hitting your goals. That's step number 6. Oh, okay guys, so step number 7 is going to be movement. Now, this can come in a variety of different ways. What I would suggest is running. Now, the reason I would suggest running is because you're gonna burn the most calories and it's gonna make your legs stronger and a million other benefits. I started getting back into running. I used to run in middle school, cross country, all this stuff. Got out of it in high school, but now I like, bodybuilding and whatnot. Running, even though I do bodybuild, has been one of the best decisions that I've made because it makes it so easy to stay lean. Number 1 choice I would say is running. You could figure out your mileage. Right now, I pretty much do like 15 miles a week, 15 to 20, 3 miles 5 times a week is what really works for me. So it's all dependent on your goals, how much you're trying to lose, and whether you want to run. I'm not saying you have to run. It works for me. You might like incline walking. You might like Mike. That's a good movie. You might like incline walk. You might like Stairmaster. You might like cycling. You might like, I don't even know. You could do any form of cardio that allows it to fit into your schedule and that you can do the most. The biggest thing I will say is when it comes to cardio, when it comes to training, when it comes to anything eating, make sure that what you're doing you can do for a while. Your goal should not be 2 months from now, 6 months from now. It is a lifestyle goal. This is something you can continuously do and not get burned out from. Can you train like this forever? That should be your goal. It should be a lifestyle. Yes, you can have smaller goals along the way, but it really should not be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try and lose 15 pounds this month and then, and gain some back next month. It's like, what are we doing? Just make a lifestyle change and implement it. So doing cardio has been one of the best things. It makes you stronger. I will say it does make you stronger. Like if you could normally do 6 to 8 reps with 3 plates, now you can do like 10 to 12 with 3 plates. Like the more conditioned you are and your breath and everything like that, it makes lifting easier. It helps you stay lean. It makes your legs stronger. Million other benefits. That's why you should do cardio. Okay, so step number 8, and it's gonna be the last thing, and I really want you guys to hear this. If you take anything from this video, let it be this. In success, in fitness, in relationships, in health, in anything. Oftentimes we get caught up in studying results. What I want you to focus on rather than studying results, studying the 8% body fat, studying your protein, your macros, studying all of that. Study behavior. We oftentimes look at the finish line. We look at results. I'm supposed to have this, this, and this. Well, what if you don't get those? What will you do? Will you continue to work if you don't hit your goal in your time frame? Can you continue to do something for a while despite not seeing the short-term gratification, the short-term results? We oftentimes get caught up in the results. If you take something away, please let it be study behavior. Study what those who have the goals that you have. Somebody has a goal that you have. You see that they look a certain way. They do all these things. They have an amount of money, whatever. Study their behavior, their character, how they act, how they speak. Study their behavior. Don't get so caught up in results about trying to look a certain way, try to have this weight. Focus on the behavior. Focus on the time management skills, the discipline, what you should eat, what you should speak about yourself, what you should think, how you should act, how to manage all of the other things you need to do. If you make a list about the character you should have to accomplish your goal, you're actually going to accomplish it. If you just focus on the goal, it's going to be 10 times harder to focus on a goal and achieve it when you don't have the steps to get there. Just like this. Right now I'm sitting on these steps. If this is step 1, this is where I am. I try to get to the top. There's no way I'm jumping all the way up there, but I have to take these little baby steps. This might be integrity, character, nutrition, health, mental health, all that, and eventually I get to the top. So if you can focus on the behavior and not the results, that's when you'll actually see the results you want. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you found this helpful, please drop a like, comment, anything you want, honestly. Let me know the next videos you want to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.